Hey, good morning and welcome to our morning routine. Today's stretch is going to focus on the lower part of our body. So if you've woken up feeling really tight, perhaps in your hips or your hamstrings, then this might be a good start for your day. You will need 2 blocks for this practice. If you don't have blocks, you could use a stack of books, even Tupperware or shoe boxes will do. But just make sure whatever you use is sturdy, just so that nobody's wobbling when they're practicing. So let's get started. So let's get started with our legs extended out. So you just want to have your legs out in front of you, and we will start with a few stretches for our ankles. You can place your hands behind you for support, the heels of your hands pointing towards your body. And then from here, we're just going to do some very simple exercises for our feet. So you're going to point your toes away from you, and then you're going to flex. Point, flex. And while you do this, make sure your upper body is straight. So what you want is when you're working on your toes, you don't want to forget about your upper body and perhaps start slouching, which is very common if we wake up, our body's not fully woken up yet. So just make sure your upper body is upright, your spine is nice and long, and then you're going to point and flex. And another thing, when you flex your feet, maybe even try to spread your toes as wide as you can, and maybe even try to get your toes to point towards you. So remember, our feet are always cooped up in our shoes, so this is a great stretch to wake up your feet. And then from here, we'll do a few ankle rolls. So you're just going to take both your feet and turn them around, circular motions. And we'll just reverse the circle. And then from here, I'm just going to turn to face you. And we're just going to start with a few hip rolls. So you're just going to lead your chest forward and back, circular motions with your hips, warming up our hip joints. And then after that, we will reverse the circle again. And then from here, we'll extend our legs out in a straddle-like posture. And then from here, you're going to interlace your fingers in front of you, same circular motion. So your hands are going to go out towards your right foot. As if you're stirring a giant pot, you're going to move your hands towards your left foot, bring them back towards you, and just keep going. So just imagine as if you're stirring a giant pot of soup or whatever you like to have. And again, here too, you want to make sure that your feet are flexed and that your toes are pointing towards you so that you can get that stretch in your hamstrings and your abductors. And we will reverse the circle now. And that's it. Now we're going to bring our legs together. Bring your hands under your knees and then bend your knees, and we're going to swing both our legs to the right. Now you're going to take your right hand, bring it on the mat, left arm reaches up, and exhale your way down into a side bend. When you do this here, again, pay attention to your upper body posture. You don't want rounding. Instead, try to lift your chest high up. Maybe even turn your gaze and your chest to peek towards the left. Take deep breaths in and out. And release. And we'll do that on the other side. So we're going to swing our legs to the left now. Left hand goes on the mat, right arm reaches up, side bend to the left. Again, heart and chest are lifted, maybe even turning and twisting your chest a little bit to the right. And then release, and let's make our way onto our hands and knees. So we'll do a few cat and cows here. As you inhale, press into your hands into the tops of your feet as you start to lift your tailbone up, your chest lifts up, your gaze lifts up. Exhale, round and curl. Tuck your tailbone down and under. Release your head and your neck as you round your back. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale and round. We'll do that one more time. Inhale and arch. Deep breath. And exhale and round. And now let's come into neutral. You're going to tuck your toes under and lift your hips up into downward facing dog. So when you get here, pedal out your legs, just stretching them out 1 foot at a time. And if you want to find a deep downward facing dog, maybe come onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, and then try to make contact belly to thigh. So try to make contact between the two. And once you've found that length all the way up in your tailbone, you're going to start to press your heels down as far as they go towards the mat. So this is going to help you get into a deeper downward facing dog. Now once you've settled in your downward facing dog, you're going to take your right foot to the center of the mat. You're going to take your left foot and step that to the outside of the right foot. And then you're going to swing your hips and your heels to the right. So you are now going to take the stretch all the way from your left fingertips all the way to your hips and down to your left toes. And we'll do that on the other side. So you're going to come back, reset, move back into your downward facing dog. This time your left foot steps to the center of the mat. Right foot goes to the outside of the left foot. Swing your heels and your hips to the left and then press your heels down as far as they go onto the mat. If they don't touch the mat, that's fine. And you're going to feel the stretch all the way along the right side of your body. And then from here, release, coming back to neutral. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees. Interlace either your fingers and place them at the base of your skull, or you can grab opposite elbows to clasp and just ragdoll yourself from side to side. Releasing your hands back down onto the mat. Walk your hands forward into your plank and lower down through a vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's step our right foot forward in between our hands into a runner's lunge. And this is where you want to use your blocks. So you want to create space in your lower body and your upper body. So try to keep a nice long spine here. Press firmly into the ball of your back foot, which is your left foot here in this case. So just take a few breaths here to settle down. Keep your heart and chest lifted. And we're going to move into a runner's lunge flow. So what you want to do is press through your right foot as you try to bring your left knee into your chest. And as you do that, you want to straighten your right leg. Left foot is flexed. Exhale, you're going to step back into runner's lunge. Heart and chest lift. Inhale, repeat. Right leg straightens, left knee bringing into the chest. Left foot is flexed. Exhale, step back. Runner's lunge. And when you do this, make sure you're not crowding the upper back again. You don't want to compromise the integrity of your upper body. Inhale, right leg straightens, left knee into chest. Exhale, step back and breathe. Settle down again. So once you have your balance, we're going to take this on the other side. So you could either step your right foot back and then bring your left foot forward. Or if you're feeling really pumped up, you could do what we call a jump switch. And that looks something like this. So now your left leg is forward. So just choose whichever option feels good to you right now. And then we'll take this flow on the left side. So now you want to ground down firmly through all four corners of your left foot. And then from here, you're going to start to straighten your left leg as you bring your right knee into the chest. This happens on your inhalation. Right foot is flexed. Heart and chest lifted. Remember, no crowding in the upper body. Exhale, step back, runner's lunge. Inhale, right knee into chest. Exhale, step back. Last time. Inhale, as you bring that right knee into the chest, left leg is straight. Exhale, step back, runner's lunge, deep breath in, deep breath out. And then from here, you can release your hands to frame your front foot and step back, downward facing dog. So you have a couple options here in downward facing dog. You could just hang out here, or you could drop your knees, sink your hips back, take a rest in child's pose, or come forward into plank and move through your vinyasa. So plank, lowering down, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's step our right foot forward in between our hands once again into a runner's lunge. Use your blocks and get comfortable in your pose again. Hopefully you're feeling nice and open in the lower body already and are able to perhaps get into a lower and deeper runner's lunge. Now you have two options. You're either going to repeat what you just did, so it really depends on how you're feeling, or we're going to move into warrior three. So in order to do that, you want to ground down firmly through all four corners of your right foot, and then we're going to stand up and bring our left knee into our chest. So just find your balance and then work through this. As you inhale, rise up. It may even help to hold your left knee. And first find your balance. And then from here, we're going to move into warrior three. So bringing your hands in prayer, you're going to start to lean your torso forward as you swing that left leg back behind you. Extend that left leg, sole of left foot is straight. And you could release your hands on your blocks if that is more comfortable for you. You want to form one straight line from the crown of your head to your left heel. If you have a tendency to hyperextend your legs or your foot here, then you might want to keep a small bend in your right knee. Otherwise, hold your warrior three. And if you want to play around with your balance, you could start to take one hand off of the block and then the other, or swing both arms back towards the back of the room. Bringing your hands onto your blocks, stepping back, runner's lunge. So take 2 deep breaths here again, settle down, maybe even slide that back foot back, and maybe sink a little bit deeper, creating even more space in your body. So now we need to switch our legs. Again, if you just want to do that by stepping one foot back and then the other slowly, that's fine. Or if you're feeling pumped up, go for that jump switch. Take a deep breath in, sink down deeper, prepare your body, and we'll do this on the other side. So our left leg is our standing leg, so press down firmly through all 4 corners of the left foot this time, and we're going to bring our right knee into our chest and stand up. So inhale, rise. Find that balance, hold the knee if you need to stabilize yourself. Your blocks are right there if you need to place your hands down, and then swing into your warrior three. Eventually finding your way to straightening both the legs. Sole of right foot is going to imagine as if it's pressing or pushing the back wall away. And from here, Play with your balance. If you want to leave your hands, swing them by your side, go for that. Or in prayer, releasing your hands back onto the mat, step back, runner's lunge. Take a deep breath in and out. Maybe slide that right foot back. Maybe you're able to sink down a little deeper now. And then releasing your hands to frame your front foot, step back, downward facing dog. So take 2 deep breaths here. Press your hands into the mat, press your heels onto the mat. Maybe have your inner thighs spiral towards the back of the room, that one last final stretch. And then you can release your knees onto the mat, sink your hips back and rest in child's pose, or you could just move about your day. So I hope you enjoyed that flow and stay tuned for more morning stretches.